This lady cuts me off so she can get her parking space spot, right? Thank you for the courtesy. Thank you for the courtesy. But anyway, Islam, folks, happy holy day to my Muslims out there. But yo, I want to talk about today on a business tip about how debt could be used or can be used in business as what they call good debt. Didn't really understand the concept all the way, but taking this class this semester, entrepreneur, finance and accounting, I'm learning so much about it. So there is something called good debt. The whole idea, to sum it up, is that you take your debt, you're only taking your debt so you can flip that debt to make more money. That's the whole idea, that's the whole concept. You're taking money or debt, borrowed money, to make more money off that borrowed money. If you're not doing that, that's not good debt, right? So one example I saw was in my class was looking at a balance sheet, income sheet, show of cash sheet of a hotel business. And this hotel business, I was noticing that a lot of their monies that they had earned in some particular years came from investments and not necessarily the hotel itself. So the hotel was actually taking profits and doing investments as the business. The wonderful thing about that is, as the business, those investments can also be counted as expense, not just revenue that you make off of, but it can be counted as expense. So that got me thinking, even like small businesses, startups and so forth, you could take some of your profits or small profits and under the company name, not you personally, but under the company name, the business, you could take those funds and invest them into the market. And by doing that, you can count those funds as expense. I mean, the funds that you use as an expense as well. So I think that's a real, dope strategy, or one of many strategies that as a business and even as an individual, you can look at taking debt and leveraging it. Now, another thing about debt is the more profits you make, right, the more debt you can leverage. You leverage that debt. What's up, family? You leverage that debt by the assets, and you leverage the debt also being able to have the cash flow to flip it and make money off that cash flow. So the more profits you get, the more debt you can gain. And I noticed, like, your big 500 companies, Fortune 500 companies, they have what we may consider a lot of debt, but it's not really a lot of debt. So they have this ratio called debt to equity, debt to ratio, debt to equity. It shows you how much your company has of debt per dollar. So every dollar of equity that the company has, how much of that dollar goes to the debt? How much that dollar goes to, how much of the assets go to the debt. It's different categories. So certainly you want to keep it low, and it just depends on your industry as well, because some business venture requires a lot of cash flow, a lot of debt up front. But in the long run, it's targeted to make that back and much more, of course. So depends on the industry. I think Apple, I saw one example, like Apple had a debt ratio of $1.80. So every dollar of equity that they owned, they owed $1.80 on debt. So that's a high, very high, in my opinion, high ratio. But considering in that market, it may not be high, right? And meaning their competitors, Microsoft, whatever other, I don't know what other markets out there that will compete. Android, I don't know, that Samsung, meaning that compete with Apple. You can look at the market to see that might be low. Actually, I remember reading that 180 mark was low considering the industry. So with that being said, is that debt basically is not a bad thing. It's you being able to leverage it in what we call the markets. If you're not in the market in a way that hinders you, like if you're doing everything just by cash only, right? In a way, you're not being able to leverage your assets. You're not being able to leverage your cash flow, because you want to protect your cash flow and use debt to make money, profits off your debt. You want to protect your cash flow and make money off your debt, because when you have your cash flow, you're able to do more immediate operations, immediate improvements, in my opinion, versus with the debt, you're making you have the ability to make long-term profits, long-term investments, but you have to watch it, because you don't want your debt to outgrow your profits and your cash flow. When your debt consumes your whole business and your whole cash flow, then you got a business that's going out of business. These are some things like I'm learning. I'm sure some people on here got way more knowledge than I have, but I don't really see any whoa, almost failed there. I don't see too many of our people, praise Allah, right? I don't see too many of our people talking about these things on here, not in this way. That's really breaking down what we need to be looking at, what we need to be focusing on, how to position ourselves, versus just send me some money or I send you a packet, do these 1, 2, 3 steps, and you get this return. We need actual formulas. We need actual processes that we could take with us, and we can mix them and exchange them however we need to get the profits, to get the wealth, to build the wealth, build the assets, and so forth. Assets equals liability plus equity. So it's not all bad. You need liabilities as well. You just got to know how to leverage it. You need debt as well. You just got to know how to leverage the debt in a way that it will build profits. Right. That's Marshall Talk Bills. See y'all in the wind. Enjoy your day. Peace and love.